If you want to reach farthest towards outer space, then don't scale Mount Everest. Scale Mount Chimborazo instead. Mount Everest is not the tallest mountain on Earth all the time. So it is the tallest mountain on Earth only sometimes. And why? Because mountains are measured using reference points. And we have three competing reference points to use to measure mountains with. So we have the sea level as the reference point, we have the base of the mountain as a reference point, and we have the center of the earth as a reference point. So Mount Everest is only the tallest mountain on earth using the sea level as a reference point, and it is 8.8 kilometers above sea level, beating out all the other mountains by that metric. But there are these two other metrics that make Mount Everest seem like a dwarf and not even break the top three. So when you use the base of the mountain as reference point, a mountain called Mount Kia in Hawaii becomes the tallest mountain on earth. The base to peak of that mountain is 10.2 kilometers. Compare that to Everest, whose base to peak height is 4.6 kilometers. So it makes the difference between Mount Everest and Mount Kia be a full 5.6 kilometers. And the only reason why Mount Kia is not prominent in the landscape is because more than half of its height is buried under the sea. So let's go to another reference point. So if we use the center of the earth as a reference point, then a mountain in Ecuador called Mount Chimborazo becomes the tallest mountain on earth. It is a very tall mountain at the equatorial region, Ecuador being an equatorial country, just like Kenya. If we go close to the equator, the earth bulges out at the equator. So it makes mountains at the equator have an advantage when you use the center of the earth as a reference point. Mount Everest, being nowhere near the equator, loses out in this metric and does not even break the top three. So Mount Chimborazo is 6,384 kilometers from the center of the earth, and Everest is 6,382 kilometers from the center of the earth, meaning that Mount Chimborazo beats out Mount Everest by a whopping 2 kilometers. So these mountains at the equator also take the leadership when it comes to the reference point of space. So they are the ones whose peak extend closest to the outer space. Fun fact, just to finish, if you want to reach farthest towards outer space, then don't scale Mount Everest. Scale Mount Chimborazo instead. Thank you.